The United States is a giant country. It's huge. And because of the size of the United States, different parts of the country are drastically, significantly different. Today, we're going to talk about those differences, comparing the different regions of the United States. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English on Autopilot. And as you can see today, we have a map of the United States that's broken up into different regions. Right now, it has one, two, three, four, five regions. But this map is not perfect. I'm going to change a little bit of the regions because I think there's different ways you can break up the country. First, let's get started with the Northeast. The Northeast you can see up here. You can see this is the Northeast, which includes states like New York, Massachusetts, Maine, Vermont. All of these states are known as the Northeast. Now, the Northeast is very rich in history. This is where this is the birthplace of America. This is where the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, those important documents were all written. Now, the Northeast today is very proud of its history. It's very proud of what it's known for. And the people there are very different than most places in the United States. Those people, when they speak to you, are very direct. They say, I need this. And it's not that they're rude. No, they're not rude. They're generally very nice people. However, the way they speak is going to be right at you, very direct. Also, the direct communication is more for efficiency, to do things as quickly as possible. They want to get things done. Think of the cities that are in the Northeast. In New York, you have New York City. In Massachusetts, you have Boston. These are big, important cities where there's a lot of movement, including Washington, D.C., right? Where the government, the federal government of the country is located. The pace of life there is very fast. People are in a hurry and they don't have time to waste. Coffee is an important thing as well in the Northeast. You will see a lot of coffee shops, a lot of places to drink a good cup of coffee. Now, the dialect, how they speak is very different. In New York City, you don't order a coffee, you order a coffee. It changes a little bit. I know to you it might sound the same, but to Americans, it has a different accent. In Boston, there can also be a very different accent. In Boston, you don't go park the car, you park the car. It's very different. And I am not from this area, so the accent is not perfect. It's just from what I've heard of people saying, right? Now, they also have different slang, where something for me might be cool. In Boston, they might say it's wicked. So that is a little different as well. The food in the Northeast is very famous for the New York pizza, clam chowder, which is a delicious soup, and the Philly cheesesteak, which is a very, very good sandwich. People there will generally talk faster, but it's okay. It's normal for them. They will speak at a faster pace than other areas, than other places in the United States. The next area I want to talk is the Midwest. The Midwest is right about here, right about there, minus Kentucky. Those are going to be in a different area. So the Midwest is right about here, which includes states like Illinois, Ohio, right? Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin. And these states are very, very well known for being super nice. The people there are very friendly and they're very polite. They want to help you. They have a good sense of community, but they're also nice to strangers. People that aren't from the Midwest, when they go visit the Midwest, it's normally a great experience because those people are normally very nice to people that come visit the Midwest. Of course, sports is very, very important here. Really, sports are important across the United States. But here, they take their sports very seriously. The accent in the Midwest is pretty standard. Normally on the news, a newscaster will do their best to have this type of accent because it's very neutral. There's not a strong accent in the Midwest. However, one of the words that is very different for them is for soda. They do not call soda soda, they call soda pop. But the name for some people is soda pop. Together, in the Midwest, they just say pop. The food there is very rich and very heavy because in the winter, it's very cold in the Midwest. It's very cold. So the food is normally very heavy, very hearty. It fills you up, such as casseroles, deep dish pizza in Chicago, and cheese curds. The people there are quick to apologize, to say, I'm sorry, even if they didn't cause the problem. It's just in their nature. They're very, very polite. Now, let's talk about one of my favorite areas of the United States, where my dad's from. This is the South. Now, in this map here, you can see Texas is not in the South, but really, in the United States, it is, as well as you could even say Missouri. Now, the South or the southern part of the United States is very traditional, very, very traditional. They're also very proud of their roots, just like in the Northeast. Also, like in the Midwest, they're very kind and hospitable. If you go to eat at someone's house in the South, be prepared to eat a lot. They want to share with you their food. Now, they're also one of the more religious areas of the United States. You will see a lot of churches, and a lot of people believe in God there. It's a very religious area of the United States. Now, because of the lifestyle there, it's also very relaxed, very slow. It's normally a lot of farms and things like that, and the life there is a lot slower. When you're in the Northeast, up here, when you're in the Northeast, it's rushing. But in the South, it's the opposite. Everything is slow. In the South, there's also a strong importance of family. Family in the South is extremely important. They also have a great culture of storytelling. They tell great stories down there. Now, the accent in the South can be a little difficult because they use what's known as the Southern drawl. They speak slower and the vowels are much more richer. I am not a very good person to ask for the Southern accent, but they speak a little bit like this, a little bit slower, a little deeper. I love a good Southern accent. I am so sorry because I'm not great at accents. But if you watch videos of people from the South, you'll notice that drawl, that they speak slower, and it's very rich, it's very smooth. They have some very specific slang as well. When you're talking about a group of people, when you have a group of people, normally you would say you all of you. But in the South, no, you say y'all. You put it together. It's one word. What are y'all doing later? sometimes I even say it because of my dad, because my dad, of course, has a more southern accent. And so it's normal for me to say y'all. What are y'all doing this evening? They also say bless your heart. Bless your heart. It could be a nice thing, or it can be even used as an insult. If someone says something a little stupid, they could say, "Oh, bless your heart," right? Saying, "Oh, you're so sweet. Look at you making a mistake." But normally it's very nice when you help someone and they say, "Bless your heart." They're saying, "Thank you." Or if you are about to do something, you can say, "I'm fixin' to." I'm fixing to go to the supermarket. I'm about to go to the supermarket. The South has a lot of slang, and it could be a little difficult at first, but after a while, you'll pick up on it. The food there is also heavier, but it's also full of flavor. It's a mix of African spices coming from the slave trade and the ancestors that were brought there as slaves. It has a dark history, the South, as well as French influences from Louisiana. Now, these mix together in amazing flavors. They are known for their fried chicken, mac and cheese, biscuits, grits, Cajun food, which is specifically from Louisiana, which is a blend of French and American food, and my favorite drink, sweet iced tea, or as they would call it, sweet tea. Now, the biggest sport here is college football, especially in Alabama, Georgia, Florida, really all of the states. But these schools have very famous football programs that are some of the best in the entire country, especially the University of Alabama. Now, let's talk about the American Southwest, which could include Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, parts of Texas as well. These places are very influenced by Mexican culture. To the south of the United States is Mexico. It also has strong influences of the Native Americans, the people that lived in the United States before it was colonized. Now, this part of the United States is very, very strong in the roots, in the Mexican roots there. There's a lot of Spanish speakers in these states. New Mexico, right here, is the only state that it also has the official language of Spanish. It's very common to hear a blend of English and Spanish known as Spanglish, where people fuse the two languages together to create one. Now, the landscape there is desert. It's very open with cactuses, sand, a lot of rocks, which to some people might not be beautiful, but I think it's a very beautiful place. It also has a strong, strong influence of cowboys, of the Wild West, and it's also very proud of its roots. Now, the accent is pretty neutral. It varies by states. My state, Nevada, as you can tell, is very neutral, the accent. It's not very strong in either way, and the most of the states there will have very neutral accents. You might see people that have a little bit of a Spanish accent because their first language could be Spanish. The food is very, very influenced by Mexico. Tacos, enchiladas, and in Texas, especially, a blend of Mexican food with more American touches, lots of cheese, known as Tex Mex, Texas and Mexico together. And of course, Texas, for a long time, was a part of Mexico as well as these states in the American Southwest. They used to be part of Mexico. The people there, they love the desert. We are used to hot weather, especially in Arizona and New Mexico. Maybe they don't love it, but they're very good because the weather there can be extremely, extremely hot in the summer. Now let's talk about the West coast. The coast is right there, bordering the Pacific Ocean. These states, Washington, Oregon, California, and even parts of Nevada, like where I'm from, is more of the West Coast. Now, the people there are normally very health conscious. They're very healthy, or they try to be, the majority of them. They're also very eco friendly. They think of the environment a lot. They're very creative and progressive with their politics. One of the biggest tech hubs in the world is right about here in Palo Alto, San Francisco, those places where they have giant companies like Google, Meta, places like that. There's also a very strong influence from Latin American countries as well as Asian countries. A lot of Asian people, especially from China, immigrated to California. And because of that, there's a very strong influence there of Asian culture. Now, the accent is generally neutral, but in California, there can be a little bit of the Valley Girl or surfer guy dialect, where they have certain slang words like, for example, like I'm about to go outside, or dude. It's normal to call another person dude. This is for younger people. Dude, what are you doing tonight? Another person will say, dude, like, I'm thinking about chilling, I'm thinking about just hanging out. They also use the word hella. Hella just means a lot. There were hella people there. This is a little more vulgar, right? Don't use this if you're talking more professionally. This is between friends. They also, the surfers could say gnarly for something that's great or something that's crazy. It was gnarly, dude. They could also say chill. Nah, I'm chill. I'm relaxed, right? Now, the food there, there's a lot of avocado. They love their avocado. And California, wow, it makes a lot of money with tech, is also where the majority of our food products are grown. California is very fertile. It's a good place to grow products, to grow crops. The people, they might love yoga. They will love surfing. They also are outside a lot. Here we have the flyover states. These states are generally full of farms and things like that. They're states that are known for also, like the Midwest, being very kind and welcoming and very laid back. It's also not uncommon that there's a lot of religious influences here. The accent is quite neutral, and again, it's full of farmland, it's full of crops. When you think of these states, you can think of cornfields where there's a lot of plants, not too many people. The flyover states are places that normally people don't go visit. However, they are very, very beautiful. And now we are going to talk about the Mountain West, right, and the Pacific Northwest. These states are known for their mountain ranges, being outside in nature, hiking, walking through the mountains, climbing the mountains, skiing, snowboarding in the winter. They're nature loving and they're adventurous. They like to explore, as well as being quite environmentally aware because of the amazing nature that they have around them. These places are normally liberal in the big cities. They vote more for Democrats in the big cities, but are very conservative in the smaller cities. So there's a big difference between the two. And because of that, politics there can be quite contentious. There can be a lot of arguing about politics in this area. Again, it's a more neutral accent, but they do have some certain slang words that are very funny. Like, for example, up here in Washington, to say that it's a sunny day because in this region it rains a lot. They say the mountain's out, talking about Mount Rainier in Washington. It's very, very specific to that region. Or they sometimes call people granola. Granola, like what you eat. No, it's someone who's very, very eco friendly, who's very aware of the environment and tries to take care of the planet. They are known for very good beer, craft beer, homemade, home brewed beer, great coffee up here again in Washington and also in Oregon as well. Or organic food, farm to table, where it's raised locally and eaten locally. Now, people there will probably wear hiking boots more than high heels, right? Or dress shoes because of the mountain regions and how adventurous they are. Now, Hawaii and Alaska are very different and on their own because they are not connected to the mainland. Because of that, they have very different cultures and very different people there. I'm going to make a series about the states, and I will go deeper into Hawaii and Alaska in another video. As you can see, the United States is very different depending on where you are. It changes drastically. It can be very, very different. We'll go we'll go deeper into the states, into the different things that they're known for as well in other videos. But this is a good general understanding of how regionally the United States changes a lot, a lot. So let me know in the comments below, which region did you think was the most interesting? Or which region do you think you could live in? If I ever moved back to the United States, I would either live in the South or I would stay on the West Coast because those are two of my favorite regions. Actually, they are my two favorite regions. Put it in the comments below. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone that's learning about the United States and learning English so they can learn along with you. All right, everyone. Have a good day, good week, good weekend whenever you're watching this video, and we'll see each other in the next one. Bye.